Recent statistics paint a troubling picture. 1 in 7 children have sent a sext. This makes talking to kids about sexting more significant than ever. Studies show that nearly 27% of teens receive sexts. The situation becomes more worrisome with 15% of girls, some as young as 8 years old, who have seen sexting content. Parents face mounting challenges in today's digital world. The numbers tell a concerning story. 40% of girls send sexts as a joke, while 34% do it to feel sexy. Another 12% feel pressured into this behavior. The risks multiply when these messages spread. 17% of recipients share them with others, and 55% distribute them to multiple people. Starting conversations about this sensitive topic with children can feel overwhelming. This piece will help you direct age-appropriate discussions about sexting. You'll learn ways to build digital literacy and create an environment where your children feel safe sharing their online experiences. Understanding sexting in today's digital world. Sexting plays a big role in our children's digital lives today. Parents need to understand this phenomenon to guide their children safely. Let's learn what sexting really means, how common it is, and the way it shapes our connected world. What exactly is sexting and why it matters? Sexting means sending or receiving sexually explicit messages, photographs, or videos, mostly between mobile phones or other digital devices. The word came about in 2005 by combining sex and texting. The concept might seem simple, but sexting has many behaviors, from suggestive text messages to sharing nude or semi-nude images and videos. The difference between types of sexting helps us understand it better. Research shows sexting can be active, sending or requesting images, or passive, receiving images, consensual or non-consensual, and primary, between two people in a relationship, or secondary, forwarding to others. These differences matter because they change the potential risks. Parents should know that sexting isn't just bad behavior. Many teens see it as a normal way to explore relationships and sexuality in the digital age. The risks of privacy violations, emotional harm, and legal issues make this talk with our children unavoidable. Current statistics among children and teens. Smartphone use has led to more sexting among young people. Recent studies show some worrying trends. About 14% of teens have sent sexually explicit images, while 27.4% have received them. Age makes a big difference. Only 1% of 10 to 11-year-olds do it, but numbers jump between ages 14 to 15. About 12.5% of youth, 1 in 8, have shared someone else's sext without permission. Around 17% of teens have shared their own sexual photo by age 15. In stark comparison to what many think, studies show boys and girls sext about the same amount. This breaks the myth that girls mainly send images while boys ask for them. Teens in relationships sext more often, with 63.9% saying yes when their partner asks compared to 43% when others ask. Teens sext for different reasons like keeping relationships strong, flirting, or just having fun. How sexting has evolved in 2025. Technology changes have altered the map of sexting as we near 2025. What started with text messages or basic phone cameras now happens on messaging apps, social media direct messages, and apps with disappearing content. More teens sext now than ever before. Studies from 2008 to 2011 showed low numbers, 2.5 to 20%, but recent research shows much higher rates. This matches the rise in smartphone ownership. 88% of 13 to 18-year-olds and 43% of 8 to 12-year-olds now have smartphones. People understand sexting differently now. Experts know that consensual sexting between peers can be part of normal teen development. The risks remain high, though, especially when images get shared without permission. People talk about sexting differently, too. Instead of just saying don't do it, there's more talk about safe sexting practices. This includes lessons about consent, privacy protection, and ways to lower risks. AI technology adds new challenges. Beyond self-taken photos, we now face AI-generated deepfakes, fake sexual images using someone's face without permission. This makes teaching digital consent and literacy more important than ever. The sort of thing I love about raising kids today is that we can have these important talks. Teaching them about sexting isn't optional anymore. It's vital preparation for their digital world. Why kids and teens engage in sexting. Parents need to understand why children send sexts before they can protect them in the digital world. The reasons behind this behavior connect deeply to teenage psychology, social pressures, and growing up. Peer pressure and social validation. Peer influence is a vital factor in teenage sexting behavior. Research shows girls face higher vulnerability to peer pressure and often send sexts because they fear losing their relationships. Many teenagers point to peer pressure as their main reason to sext. Those who start in middle school report much more pressure than high school starters. Social status drives this behavior too. Boys can boost their popularity within peer groups through sexting. The situation gets trickier for girls. While receiving requests for sexts might boost their status, actually sending them often leads to rejection instead of popularity. Teenagers talk about sexting in ways that reveal clear double standards. Both boys and girls label girls who send images negatively. Boys gain social currency by sharing these images with their friends. The pressure to keep relationships intact pushes many young people to sext. About 64% of teens in relationships say yes when their partner asks for sexts. This number drops to 43% for requests from non-partners. Curiosity and normal development. Teenagers go through major changes as they learn about their sexuality. Their hormones peak during this time, and sexual curiosity grows naturally. Modern teenagers express their sexuality through sexting in the digital world. About 19.3% of young people have sent a sext, and 35% have received one. Teenagers spend more time online now, and sexting has become part of how they communicate and explore. Many teenagers use sexting as their first step towards sexuality. This happens more often if they haven't had sexual experiences or feel unsure about their looks. These young people are also finding their independence and identity, testing new situations, learning to accept their bodies and sexuality. Research shows sexting has become more normal than before, though less than 32% of teens actually do it. More teenagers join in because they think it's normal in relationships. Lack of understanding about consequences. Young people often send sex without knowing the risks. Most teenagers don't realize sexting can lead to cyberbullying, blackmail, sexual violence, and sextortion. Several factors explain this lack of awareness. The teenage brain hasn't finished developing. Their prefrontal cortex handles problem-solving and self-control, but won't mature until their early to mid-20s. Teenagers focus on instant rewards instead of thinking about future problems. Teenagers who don't see risks clearly send more sexts. They believe their photos will stay private and don't understand that sent images can't be taken back. About 14.5% of young people have shared someone else's sext without permission. Many teenagers don't know about legal problems either. Some states charge minors with felonies, which can mean up to 20 years in prison and lifetime sex offender registration. These motivations provide helpful context for parents who wonder about discussing sexting with their children. We can have more understanding and effective conversations by learning about peer pressure, natural curiosity, and teenagers' limited grasp of consequences. Age-appropriate conversations about sexting. Parents need different ways to talk about sexting with kids based on their age and maturity. Research shows you should start these conversations right when your kids get their first electronic device. Let me show you how to guide these talks as your children grow up. Talking to elementary school children, 8 to 10. Young kids aren't ready for direct talks about sexting. The focus should be on basic concepts instead. Kids this age should learn they control their bodies and understand proper boundaries. Kids under 11 rarely send sexts, but sexual content can leave them feeling scared and confused. Good starting points for discussion include personal boundaries. Teach them why private parts stay covered and aren't for others to see. Image sharing rules. Help them know which pictures are okay to share. Trust conversations. Let them know they can talk to you about anything that feels wrong. Keep the language simple. Some photos are special and private. We don't share them. Skip scary words, but lay the groundwork for deeper talks later. Approaching middle schoolers, 11 to 13. Middle school brings big changes. About 1 in 4 teens get sexual texts and emails. 1 in 7 send them too. Your talks need more detail now. Start by checking what they know. What have you heard about nudes or sexting? This tells you where to begin. Then explain it clearly. Sexting means sending, getting, or sharing pictures of someone without clothes. Middle schoolers should know. Pictures sent can't come back. Control is gone forever. Teen sexting breaks child porn laws in many states. No app truly deletes content. Even Snapchat isn't safe from screenshots. Give them ways to say no under pressure. Tell them it's okay to use you as an excuse. My parents check my phone. I'd be in huge trouble. This helps them avoid awkward situations. Guiding high school teens, 14 to 18. High school brings the biggest risks. Sexting goes up with age. By 15, about 17% of teens have shared sexual photos. Teens dating someone face extra pressure. 64% say yes when their partner asks. High schoolers need to understand. Legal consequences. Creating or sharing explicit pictures of minors means felony charges, whatever the reason. Some teens lost sports spots, got suspended, or faced criminal charges. Digital footprint. Schools and jobs look at online history. The simple truth. Pictures stay forever. Consent and respect. They should set clear boundaries in relationships. Saying no to sexting requests is always fine. Keep these talks open and judgment-free. Studies show you should have ongoing conversations that grow with your child. Remember to tell your kids they can always come to you for help without losing their devices or getting punished. Building digital literacy as prevention. Digital literacy gives children the tools and knowledge to stay safe online, especially from sexting risks. Teaching kids to manage their digital presence creates better protection than just warning them about dangers. Teaching consent in digital spaces. Respectful online interaction starts with digital consent. Kids need to learn that just like in real life, they must get permission before taking actions that affect others. Young children can start with basic ideas like asking friends before posting their photos or sharing private conversation details. When teaching digital consent, focus on these key principles. Ask permission before sending explicit messages or photos. Respect decisions when someone says no to digital content. Understand boundaries around meeting people from online interactions in real life. Request consent each time, as previous permission doesn't extend to future interactions. Digital consent goes beyond sexual content. It applies to everyday online activities. Kids should practice consent by respecting others' devices and accounts. They need to check before reposting someone's photos and get permission to share private conversation details. Online conversations don't give us body language clues like face-to-face talks do. Clear communication about boundaries leads to more respectful online spaces. Helping kids understand digital footprints. Kids start creating digital footprints as soon as they go online. These information trails shape how others see them. Understanding this helps prevent risky behaviors like sexting. My kids learn that online sharing can last forever. Think of digital activities like walking on a beach. You leave tracks behind. The difference? Digital tracks rarely disappear with the tide. These digital footprints can seriously affect their lives. Damage friendships and relationships. Hurt future job opportunities. Affect college applications. Bring unwanted attention to themselves and their community. Kids need to share thoughtfully online. A good rule. If you wouldn't say it face-to-face, don't post it. They should keep personal details private and think about how teachers, future employers, or family members might view their content. Creating healthy boundaries online. Clear boundaries help build healthy digital habits better than strict restrictions. This teaches responsible behavior that stays with kids into adulthood. Start by making some areas and times tech-free at home. Make bedrooms device-free zones, or set up a docking station where everyone leaves devices during meals or before bed. A shared family media plan helps everyone know what to expect with digital media use. Show your kids healthy digital behavior. They learn by watching you. If you check your phone constantly or share without asking, they'll do the same. Ask permission before posting family photos and respect others' digital boundaries. Set clear rules about age-appropriate content. Review apps before younger kids download them. Have ongoing talks with older kids about appropriate sharing. Teaching digital literacy isn't about scaring kids away from technology. It's about giving them tools to use it wisely, respectfully, and safely. These steps prepare children to handle challenges like sexting with knowledge and confidence. Technology tools for parents in 2025. Technology provides great support to parents who need to talk with their kids about sexting. Parents in 2025 can protect their children without invading their privacy, thanks to recent technological advances. Monitoring apps that respect privacy. Today's parental monitoring apps alert us about potential risks while maintaining children's privacy. These apps analyze communication patterns and content. They flag concerns like cyberbullying or stranger contact without compromising autonomy. Companies like Custodio and Bark excel at monitoring social platforms to detect harassment or predatory behavior. Google Family Link lets parents create daily screen time limits with specific school time and downtime schedules. Children develop balanced digital habits throughout their day. The app's location tracking shows your family's whereabouts on a map and notifies you when they arrive at or leave specific locations. AI-powered content filters. AI has changed content filtering completely. These systems work faster and more efficiently than human moderators. The technology scans millions of posts, images, and videos daily and removes harmful material automatically. These filters work because they analyze content in real time instead of using static databases. Recognize patterns that show potentially risky conversations. Adapt to your child's maturity level with age-appropriate settings. Tools like Canopy exploit AI to detect and filter explicit images before they reach your child's screen. Canopy's Sexting Prevention feature identifies inappropriate photos on your child's device and blocks them from being saved or shared. This tackles the problem right at its source. Family tech agreements that work. Family tech agreements create clear rules about device usage at home. This approach, combined with open communication, helps prevent problematic sexting behavior. The best time to create these agreements comes when your child turns 3, the age when children start understanding rules. You can build on their understanding as they grow and help them develop critical thinking skills about technology use. Family tech agreements work best when they match your family's specific needs. Include everyone's ideas in the decision process. Stay visible where everyone can see them, like on the refrigerator. Show both benefits and risks of technology. Success comes from working together rather than imposing rules. Children who help create boundaries understand responsible digital behavior better and take ownership of their actions, creating a supportive environment for ongoing dialogue. Trust serves as the lifeblood of meaningful conversations about sexting with your children. Your children's protection in the digital world depends more on creating an environment where dialogue flows naturally than just understanding the issue or setting up technology safeguards. Establishing trust without judgment. Children feel safe discussing uncomfortable topics through consistency and openness. My children share their concerns before they become problems because I approach sensitive conversations without anger or criticism. Your child's feelings deserve verification when discussing sexting. To cite an instance, say, "I understand this relationship is important to you and filled with trust, yet it's worth thinking about that relationships sometimes change." This acknowledgement creates connection while emphasizing caution. Your child should know that coming to you won't lead to punishment or device confiscation. Many children hide their online problems because they fear losing access to their devices or facing judgment. Recognizing warning signs respectfully. Your parental instinct matters when something feels wrong with your child's behavior. Watch for these changes. Excessive texting, especially during unusual hours. Sudden anxiety about their phone or privacy. Skipping activities they used to enjoy. Withdrawal from family interactions or declining grades. Approach conversations with curiosity rather than accusations when you notice these signs. Ask open-ended questions like, "Can you tell me more about that?" instead of demanding answers. When and how to ask other trusted adults for help. Children sometimes feel more comfortable talking to someone besides their parents. Help them find these potential supports, maybe a school counselor, coach, or family friend, and let them know that reaching out shows strength, not betrayal of parental trust. Serious situations with harassment or sextortion need external resources. Learn how to report inappropriate content and find specialized helplines. Your child should know that support exists and they never have to face uncomfortable digital experiences alone. The goal isn't controlling every aspect of your child's digital life, but making sure they know you'll believe them and stand by their side when challenges come up. Conclusion. Many parents struggle to discuss sexting with their children, yet these vital conversations protect kids in the ever-changing world of digital interactions. Studies consistently demonstrate that frequent, early discussions effectively prevent risky online behavior. Technology alone can't fully shield our children from online dangers. Monitoring apps and content filters certainly help, but trust and open communication provide the best protection. My work shows that a combination of practical tools and honest, non-judgmental conversations yields the best results. Children respond best when we match our approach to their development stage. Young kids grasp simple privacy concepts first, then tackle more complex topics as they grow older. This gradual progression builds their understanding naturally. Your child's confidence to seek help without fear of criticism or punishment matters most. These discussions shouldn't be one-time events. They should grow and adapt with your child's digital experiences. Smart online choices and healthy relationships emerge through steady guidance, clear limits, and mutual trust.